Hello everyone. In this lecture we would be talking about price determination under perfect competition and the role of time in it. The price of a commodity in an industry is determined at the point wherein the demand and supply interact or intersect with each other. So price determination happens at a point where demand and supply curve intersect each other. Now, this is a point wherein the industry demand would be equal to the industry supply. According to Marshall, there are three different periods which he has taken into account. So Marshall has identified three periods in which equilibrium between demand and supply can be brought about. Now these three periods are very short period, which is also known as market period. The second one is short run, and the third one is long run. Now we would be seeing each of these one by one as to how the price is determined under each of these different time periods. The first one that we would be seeing is market period. Market period or very short run period is a particular time in which the equilibrium is established between the demand and supply of the particular commodity. So demand supply forces determine the equilibrium in market period. So for example, if we draw a figure wherein on the x-axis we have output, and on the y-axis we have price. Then for example, if the supply curve is a straight or is a vertical line which is perpendicular towards the x-axis, so if this is the supply curve, then OQ amount of quantity would be supplied in that particular industry. Now let's assume a scenario that the demand curve intersects the supply curve at this point. Than this point, let's make it a bit higher at this point. So this is the DD curve. Okay, this is the DD curve. The price which is established is OP. Okay, so OP is the equilibrium price, while OQ is the equilibrium quantity. Now let's assume that the demand curve or the demand has increased and the demand curve shifts upwards. Okay, यहाँ पे upward shift हो रहा है demand curve में. So demand curve shifts to D1, then a new equilibrium price would be established at P1. Okay, P1 पे एक नई equilibrium price establish हो रही है. New equilibrium price is equal to OP1, but quantity remains same. Due to an increase in demand and the supply being constant, the price tends to go up. ये price increase क्यों हुआ है? Because यहाँ पे supply constant है. The supply is constant, so the prices have moved up. On the other hand, if the reverse scenario happens and the demand falls down, okay, demand जो है वो कम हो जाता है D2, okay, demand falls down and the demand or the current demand now states is at D2 demand curve, then the new equilibrium price is established at P2. Okay, if demand falls down, if demand reduces, then equilibrium price is equal to OP2, quantity is equal to OQ, demand curve is D2. Okay, so in this manner, in a particular market period, the equilibrium would be established. Now, it has to be taken into account that when we are talking about price determination, perishable goods such as vegetables, fish, seafood, everything have to be used within a particular duration of time only. So it is very important that in this case we have to take into account the market period rather than the short run period or the long run period, because for them market period would be the long run as well as the market period would be the short run for them. Now one more thing which has to be kept in mind is that if the commodity is durable good, its supply can be adjusted to the demand. So demand के according supply adjust की जा सकती है. If the demand for commodity declines, the firms will start building inventories, while on other hand, if demand goes up, the firms will increase their supply of existing stocks. So what they do is that they create inventories in the time period wherein the prices are going down, so that that is the demand is going down, which would lead to a fall in prices as well. So उस stage में वो लोग inventory build up करते हैं. So the production which is being undertaken during those phases is for building inventories. Now, once when the demand again picks up and the prices start to increase, they would be using up this inventory which they have created in order to supply the goods in the market. If demand increases beyond that level, if for example a firm can keep on supplying out of its existing stock only till the availability of stocks, जब तक स्टॉक रहेगा तब तक वो सप्लाई कर सकता है, जब स्टॉक खत्म हो जाएगा तो वो सप्लाई भी बंद कर देता है. In the same manner, if demand increases beyond that level, the firm cannot supply any additional quantity of goods. तो उसके पास जितना इन्वेंट्री में पड़ा हुआ है उतना ही वो सप्लाई कर सकता है, उससे ज़्यादा वो सप्लाई नहीं कर सकता है. The supply curve of for durable goods is upward sloping up to a distance, and then it becomes vertical. A firm selling a durable good has a reserve price below which it will not like to sell. The reserve price is influenced by the cost of production. So let's see what this means with the help of a diagram. So price determination for durable commodities. Price determination for durable commodities. So let's draw a figure wherein we would be able to understand this in a better manner. So this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis, and we are measuring output over here and we are measuring the price over here. Okay, so what we find is that there is a certain fixed level of supply which a particular firm would always be maintaining in the market. So इसीलिए supply हमेशा जब भी हम लोग शुरू कर रहे हैं ड्यूरेबल गुड्स के लिए, it does not start with zero, it does not start from here at this point, that is point of origin, but rather it starts a bit above, because even though the firm is not having much demand in the market, it would be supplying certain items in the market. So this way the supply curve increases and then it shifts and becomes a vertical line over here. So the stage at which it becomes a vertical line, this one, okay, it is say for example a firm was working at this level earlier, that is at this level we have the DD curve. Okay, that has gone a bit funky. So yeah, this is the DD curve. Okay, if the firm was working in at DD, then what happens is the price which is determined, okay, price at DD is this much and the quantity which is supplied is this much. तो यहाँ पे M quantity और P price के ऊपर goods को supply किया जा रहा है. Now what we find is that OM, okay, OM is this quantity supplied, OM quantity supplied, OP price, okay, at OS, okay, ये जो पॉइंट है यहाँ पे जो हमारी शुरुआत हुई है, ये पॉइंट पे OS पे कुछ भी सेल नहीं हुआ है, there is nothing being sold here, it is a reserve price. इसे जो हम लोग कहते हैं, इसे हम लोग reserve price कहते हैं. Okay, this is the reserve price. It is the reserve price at OP1. Okay, at OP the price of the whole stock is offered. The OP price, the whole stock is offered for sale. So OP1 के ऊपर पूरा का पूरा स्टॉक मैक्सिमम जितना प्रोड्यूस किया जा सकता है उतना वो OP1 के ऊपर सेल करने के लिए रेडी हो जाते हैं. Now why this is the maximum selling point? Because after this what happens, the supply becomes constant. The supply is not going to alter after this level. Why? Because ये यहाँ से फिर vertical हो गया है. It has become vertical from here. So इसीलिए यहाँ पे supply आपकी constant हो जाती है. So at OM1, okay, OM1 and at OP1 price, the entire stock is being offered for sale and the demand curve which is created is D1 D1. Okay, यहाँ पे हमारा D1 D1 demand curve create होता है. D1 D1 demand curve हमारा यहाँ पे create होता है. Price determined at OP at which OP से यहाँ पे प्राइस आपकी ऊपर चली जाती है P1 की तरफ, because you are putting more supply into the market. So the demand becomes the supply becomes more, and when the supply increases, what happens is there would be a downward shift in the demand curve towards D2 D2. Okay, towards D2 D2 की तरफ फिर से demand curve नीचे आ जाता है. Now the equilibrium price in this case would be here. Equilibrium price would be this one and the equilibrium quantity would be M2, the price would be P2. So OP2 is the equilibrium price when demand reduces, and OM2 is the quantity when demand reduces. So in this manner what happens is यहाँ पे फिर से नीचे आ जाते हैं prices, वो कम quantities बेचने लग जाते हैं, and as a result what happens is that again there would be a situation wherein the companies would be attracted in order to enter this market, and this cycle continues. So in this manner, the market period is being analyzed in order to undertake the price determination of the firm for a particular time period. Now, then in the next part, we would be seeing if how short run equilibrium and how long run equilibrium would be established for a firm in case of price discrimination. Sorry, price determination, not discrimination. Price determination for short run equilibrium and long run equilibrium, how it is undertaken, we would be seeing in the next part of the video.